Welcome back, guys. It's me, Mr. Frederick, once again in this new year of 2024. And today we're going to be talking about proportions, part one. So we have these two fractions here. We want to find out are they proportional or not. So 2 over 3 equals 8, 12. So step one I would do is you need to cross multiply them like that. So it'd be 2 times 12 on the left, and then 3 times 8 on the right. So if they equal to each other, then you know they're proportional. Okay? So 2 times 12 is 24, and 3 times 8 is 24. Okay? So since 24 is equal to 24, then they equal, so they're proportional. Okay? So that's what you do for that problem. Okay, so then that's how you check it. So remember to cross multiply and see if they equal to each other that way. Okay? Now we have another one, proportion number 2, where we have 5 over 6 is equal to 3 over 4. Are they proportional or not? Let's check it. So we're going to do 5 times 4 here on the left equals, to see if it's equal to 6 times 3. Now 5 times 4 is equal to 20, while 6 times 3 is equal to 18. So no, they're not equal. So it's not proportional. Okay? So since they're not equal to each other, and that tells us they're not proportional to each other. Okay? So that's one example where you have to see and test it out, and you're going to see, for example, that it isn't. Okay? Let's try another example. Now we have proportional number 3, where sometimes you're missing the number, so they'll put it in the form of x or any other letter they want to put. So we'll do the same procedure where we do 3 times 12 like this, and then 4 times x, right? So you may be wondering, how do you do that if you have a variable? Simply do it as you do normally, and then you solve for the variable later. For example, what is 3 times 12? 3 times 12 is 36, and is equal to 4x. 4 times x, which is 4x. Now next, you solve it as an algebra problem, right? And the opposite of multiplication, 4 times x is division. So you're going to have to divide 4 on both sides like this, so that you could find out what x really is. So 36 divided by 4 is 9. Okay? So let's put it here back. 3 over 4 is equal to 9 over 12. And when you do that, it is proportional. Okay? Because 3 times 12 is 36, and 9 times 4 is 36. Okay? So that's proportional. So that's how you solve it with a variable. All right, let's go to the next one. Proportion 4. Okay? We had just x before, but what if you have 2 in front of the x like this? So let's solve it the same. Step 1, 5 times 2x, like this, is equal to 6 times 15. Okay? So 5 times 2x is just simply 10x. You just do 5 times 2 and then keep the x. Then 5 times 6, 16 times 15 will have to be 90. Okay? And then you divide, that's step 2. Then the third step, you divide by 10 on both sides. And x is equal to 9. Okay? So the answer will have to be 9 for this proportion problem. Okay? All right. The next problem that we have is proportion 5. Sometimes the problem comes in a word problem setting. So you have to know how to approach that too. So you have to know how to dissect it and read it. So on average, Tim spends $3 for every 19 miles he drives, right? And Tim is planning a 570-mile road trip. How much money should he budget for gas, right? So it's good to separate the information that you have and make sure it's clear for others, for you and others to understand. Okay. So I put here average on the left and trip on the right. So the average that we see that he has is $3. That's what that has been given here over the 19 miles he drives. So I'm gonna put MI, that signifies miles. And now the trip, this is for the average. Now the trip is, we see that we don't know how much it is, as we're looking for how much money should he budget for gas. So that'll be X over 570 miles. Okay? And now we just solve it like we did any other proportion that we did before. So we do 3 times 570, like this. 570 times 3 is equal to 19 times X. 19 miles times X, which is the same. So that's step 1. Step 2, 3 is just simply 19X is equal to 570 times 3, which is 1710. And then step 4, bring it up here. When you have 1710 is equal to 19X, we're going to divide both by 19. Cross out the 19. And 1710 divided by 19 is 90. So our answer is 90. It will have to be $90. So Tim should budget $90 for gas. Okay? So it'll be $90. Okay? So take your time, break it down piece by piece, and understand that you want to pace yourself and use the givens that are given to you so that you could be able to understand what you have and also understand what you're looking for. Like they wrote down how much money should he budget for the gas. You're looking for how much money he should be budgeting. Then they gave you the other things. So then you organize it so that you could find the solution. Okay. Now we go to another proportion problem where we have 3 over 2x equals 9 over 24. Okay. So step 1, I'm gonna put a dot to equal multiplication from now on. So 3 times 24 is equal to 9 times 2x. Okay, that's first step. I just simply did like that. Okay, cross multiplication. Step 2. Since 3 times 24, that is 72. I think about it like 24 hours in a day, and if you have 3 days, it's 72 hours. That's the way I thought about it. And 9 times 2, that's 18, and you just keep the x. Okay. Now I'm going to divide both by 18. So this could cancel out, leaving me x is equal to 72 divided by 18, which is 4. Okay. So x is equal to 4. Okay. So that will be the answer for that problem. Next one. Proportion number 7. So same procedure. We're going to do 3 times 25 equaling 15 times x. Okay. So 3 times 25 equals 15x. 3 times 25 is 75. Just think of it 3/4. 3/4 to buy some snack that you want to look for. So 3/4 is 75 cents equals 15x. And then I'm going to divide both by 15 like this. And x is equal to 5. Okay? 75 divided by 15 is 5. Okay? So 75 divided by 15 is 5. So x is equal to 5. All right. Proportion number 8. So same thing. Now you have a negative. What do you do when you have a negative? Let's see. This negative will belong to the first number 5 on the top. So let's do like that. We're going to do negative 5 times 4x like this equals 8 times 20. So negative 5 times 4 is simply negative 20, and then you add the x there. Okay? Equals 8 times 20, which is 160. Okay? The next step, I'll divide it by negative 20 on both sides. So remember, when we divide by a negative number, a positive number by negative, it stays negative. So 160 divided by negative 20 will be negative 8. Okay? And that is the answer. Okay, so negative 8, x is equal to negative 8. That'll be your answer. All right, proportion number 9. So 7x over 14 equals 1. So like, you'll be wondering, how do you do this one? Like, I don't know. So this is how you do it. You get the 7x over 14 is equal to 1, which is the same as, just think of it 1 over 1, put it as a fraction, and then times it that way. So it'll be 7x times 1 equals 14 times 1. So 7x equals 14. You divide both sides by 7, and x is equal to 2. Okay? So your answer is 2. So don't be intimidated by it when you see those things like that. Take it step by step and think it through. All right? And be patient with yourself. Now, we have another word problem here, proportion 10, and we want to go through it well. For example, the average length of a Brontosaurus was 84 feet. So things to keep in mind. And a Velociraptor, which is those raptor dinosaurs in the past that ran super fast on the ground, and Brontosaurus is that long neck dinosaur that eat leaves. Okay, so Josh has a toy Brontosaurus that is 84 inches long. The length toy Velociraptor should he buy? What length toy Velociraptor should he buy so that is proportional in size to the Brontosaurus? So let's organize this. First, let's put the 2 feet of the animal. So first we see that it talked about 84 feet, right, of the Brontosaurus, and we're going to put that over the other feet of the Velociraptor, which is 6. So this is the feet, this is the feet. So this was the Brontosaurus, B for that, and this is the Velociraptor. And it's equal, so we know the 28 inches belongs to the Brontosaurus, the top. So 28 inches. But we're looking for the inches for the Velociraptor. That's why that is X. Okay? So we're gonna rewrite this 84. This is step 1. 84 over 6 is equal to 28 over X. So let's 84 times X. 84X is equal to 28 times 6. Okay? That's how we're going to organize it. And then 84x will stay 84x. And 28 times 6 will be 168 over here. So 84x is equal to 168. I'm going to bring this up here. So we have 84x equals 168. All right, step 3, we're going to divide by 84 on both sides like this. And x is equal 168 divided by 84 is 2. So our x is 2. So the length toy of the Velociraptor that he should buy should be 2 inches. Okay, 2 inches. Okay, and that's how you solve it. Okay. Proportion 11. It takes Greg 16 minutes to trim 6 rose bushes. How many minutes will it take him to trim 30 rose bushes? So let's organize this. Let's organize what we know. So he says it's 16 minutes. So you're going to put that here on the top. 16 minutes over the 6 rose bushes. So he could trim 6 rose bushes in 60 minutes. So we want to know, we don't know how long it will take. So that'll be X, because the tops are the minutes, for 30 rose bushes. So we'll do the same thing now. 16 times 30 is equal to 6x. So 16 times 30 is 480 equals 6x. And 480 divided by 6 will be 80. So it will take 80 minutes to trim 30 rose bushes. Okay? And that's it for today. Just take your time, work on these problems little by little, and you'll get better. All right? Give yourself a chance and keep practicing and getting better day by day. This is Mr. Frederick, out.